definitely think plant-based medicine is the future, whether it's the cannabis plant, whether it's magic mushrooms. You know, the government is finally realizing this is a movement of the people. We want to have access to things that grow, that are natural, that make us healthier.
This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth. We got a great show lined up for you today, guys, so let's just jump right into it. Joining me on the line right now is Penny White. She is the director, the CEO and president of Yield Growth Corp. Yieldgrowth.com is the website. This is a company that's moving the cannabis space and merging it in with the health and wellness sector, something I feel is very important moving forward because it deals with the medicinal benefits of the plant. This is something I think current day regulators are overlooking as they're just gushing into the recreational market. So Penny, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with us here today because, you know, Yield Growth Corp is putting the patients first, which I think is something incredibly important moving forward. So I want to get your views on what it's been like for you as a young company to kind of navigate these treacherous waters of regulation, trying to get into the health and wellness space. But before we get into that, maybe you can touch a little bit on just the medicinal benefits of the plant in general. I mean, there's been a lot of developments even over the last 10 years. There's a lot of Israeli scientists actually who are really leading the way in showing the medicinal benefits of this plant. And quite honestly, we're still in the tail end of this reefer madness era where there's a great deal of propaganda that people still have in their minds that would suggest the opposite, that there is no medicinal benefit. So what can you tell us briefly a little bit about what you and your company have learned about the medicinal benefits of the plant and why you want to move it into the health and wellness sector?
Hi, Dan, and thanks for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's still a lot of questions around, you know, what are all the benefits of the cannabis plant? And we're really a company focused on plant-based medicine, plant-based therapeutics, and it's not just the cannabis plant. We're also starting to get into psilocybin in magic mushrooms as well, which is really cool. But when it comes to cannabis, our focus has really been on the therapeutic side and the skin side. So if you think about the cannabis plant being used in Ayurvedic medicine, which goes back 5,000 years, all different parts of the plant were used. Our proprietary technology has accessed a unique part of the plant, which is the root. So the root of the cannabis plant, and it's also the root of the hemp plant that we use, we extract and we create our own hemp root oil. And it's what we call it, but it's basically a slightly different product when it comes from the marijuana plant. And it's very powerful in terms of all of the terpenes that it has. We actually combine it with many other plant-based ingredients in our products. So we're really focused on two types of products. One is skincare using key parts of the cannabis plant, including CBD and THC and the hemp root and the hemp seed as well. And we also have a full line of products that are designed with the intention that they're going to relieve pain. And so it's the hemp combination of the hemp root oil and the THC with some of the very exotic essential oils that we put in our products that we believe will give individuals pain relief when they use these products. You know, we have to be very careful how we market them. But essentially, when people go and they buy topicals products with THC, what they're looking for is something to put on their skin that is going to relieve their pain. And there's a lot of anecdotal evidence out there that it works for if you have sore muscles. I mean, I use it myself, but also for people with more serious issues like fibromyalgia, chronic pain, arthritis. You know, there's a lot of people that say they like to put cannabis in a topical, put it on their body. So the topicals movement is fairly new, but we've been at it for several years. We now have about 20 products in the market. We've got 2 different lines launched, and we hope to come out with another 20 products this year.
Well, 2019 in particular wasn't exactly easy for a lot of entrepreneurs navigating this space. So what were some of the challenges that you guys found yourself in when entering this market in 2019 in particular?
You know, we actually ended up taking a different approach because when we first looked at the market and the cost of building an LP and the amount of paperwork it would take, we actually decided that we would focus on developing the formulas for our products, getting them stabilized, getting them tested, develop the packaging, build out our distribution platform. And we actually kind of thought earlier on, maybe a little earlier than some companies did, that we kind of thought the cost of buying an LP might come down, or they were overpriced at the time. Maybe that wasn't the right route to go. And we kind of got lucky because we actually don't have a cannabis license. What we do is we have over 200 proprietary formulas. We have 13 patents filed on our formulations and our extraction method, and we partner with licensed facilities in different jurisdictions to bring our products to market. So at the heart of all our products are the same basic formulas, the same key ingredients. We manufacture our bulk product and our key products in British Columbia and Canada, but then we ship them around the world. So right now, things are actually a bit easier for us because now I think the industry is stabilizing. We actually had a hard time a year ago because all the LPs had so much money, and it was really difficult to do a deal with someone because there was so much noise and so much going on. So now I feel like things have settled down. People are more realistic. People are more interested in actually making revenues and getting products to market. And so we've seen that we're going to make a lot more progress now because there's less competition.
Well, what would you say then are some of the emerging opportunities in this space moving forward in 2020, now that some of this stuff has settled down a little bit?
Well, definitely cannabis 2.0. I mean, in some ways we're a beauty company because we have a full line of skincare products. In some ways we're packaged goods. And both of those industries, you measure them on different things than you would typical cannabis companies. It's not about agriculture. It might be about some innovative technologies, in terms of making everything more efficient and scalable. But, we've moved on beyond farming, at least in North America. Now it's really about packaged goods. How good is your team? How efficient are you? How good are you at marketing? And it's going to come down to the management teams. And I think we really have an edge there.
Yeah, well, I've seen the team. It does look like you have an edge there for sure. And as you said, the products are going to be the most important thing moving forward. You've already mentioned topical creams. This is something you would essentially put directly on your skin. What other sorts of products do you guys offer?
Well, if you think about our catalog of over 200 products, we actually have a full slate of topical and edible products, mostly for cannabis. But then you can really take most of our products and use them either with THC or with CBD or just with hemp. So when you look at the Herb and Juice skincare line and the products we've developed, right now we have 12 products on the market, which include moisturizers and body spray, really nice massage oils, anti-aging serum, and lip balm. But then we have a whole slew of other products that we've already tested that have been stability tested for a 2-year shelf life. So we have eye cream, and we have face oils, we have face masks, we have body scrubs, and we basically have the Urban Juve line has about 50 products for women that they could use on their face and body. And well, they're actually unisex, and we have a full men's line. So we've actually licensed all the products on our men's line to a brand called Antler, and they're hoping to launch a lot of those products this year. So we have a beard oil, we have shaving cream, we have all kinds of things that men would use in their daily regimen. We even have deodorant for men and women. The shaving cream comes for men and women. And then we have full line of fragrances, both for men and women. And we also have some health essential oil blends that are designed to give you sort of different healthy benefits throughout the day or whenever you want to use them. And so we actually use 100% natural ingredients in all of our products. So we're using mostly very high quality essential oils are the key ingredients in everything we use. There are no artificial ingredients in anything. And then we have everything smells beautiful. Not like some of the hemp products that you can buy that smell really strange. Hemp and cannabis, hemp and marijuana are very difficult substances to work with. Not any kind of cosmetic formulation can work with them. All of our products are designed to be combined with CBD or THC or other parts of the cannabis plant.
Well, it sounds like it's something that can be used by pretty much any age group, but it sounds like a lot of it may appeal to some people in the older generation, maybe even older women. And have you found it difficult to bridge the gap between the reefer era madness, times of people thinking that there's something wrong about doing this, or are people seeming to come around in your view?
Well, actually, the target market for our CBD products and for our products that are really designed for pain relief is actually predominantly men, and it's an older demographic. So it's more like a 35 to 70, which seems a bit broad, but it's really anybody who could suffer from pain. And I'm not sure why, but more men are buying CBD products than women. And of course, the biggest market is California in the world for CBD products. Although THC products, it's kind of opening up in the US in different states. And then, we're expecting Canada to be a pretty big market once the full cannabis 2.0 legislation launches. But we've got some great products like foot soaks, foot cream, hand soaks, hand cream, pain patches, all of these products with full THC. And it's not just any THC. We're very careful about the strains that we select, that our team, our Ayurvedic scientific research team knows is good for pain relief or for the purpose that these products are created, and also the extraction method of how that THC distillate or whatever form we're using is very, very important. So it's important for us to have, very, as natural a product as possible, but also we look for extraction methods that retain as much of the integrity of the plant so that we have the maximum value in terms of all of those compounds. So when you have like the full compounds from our hemp root oil, which we've showed it has high percentage of freedling, which is a really great compound to help your body absorb other cannabinoids, and other terpenes from all these essential oils, as well as a high quality, specifically chosen strain of THC, then you get a product which actually can be very effective for its intended use.
Well, I think that's really important moving forward, especially for the patients, because, these people have really honed in on what specific strains it is that works for their particular issue. And, as the government continues to regulate and they move into the regulation market, these patients aren't able to find the actual medicine that they need. So it's good that you're focusing on that and focusing on the markets that are booming, like California. But are you guys able to export products outside of the US?
Yeah, and I mean, just to be clear, we're definitely not limited to people who have a medical prescription. Like, we're really looking for people that are taking care of themselves. So our products are available in recreational facilities. Like, they can be sold in Oregon through recreational THC dispensaries. Sure. But really, we know the people that are buying them, not buying them to get high. You don't get high on most of our products. I guess if you put enough cream on, you could. But really, the intention is, it's to benefit your health. So yes, the really cool thing is things are opening up in Europe now. So there's a huge demand for CBD products in Europe, although the legislation isn't quite there. What we have been successful in doing is we've registered 12 of our products from our Urban Juve line in Europe. They're fully registered, and we're really glad we took the time to do that because we're getting a ton of interest over there. We've already shipped a whole bunch of products over to Greece, our first European distribution agreement. We're now negotiating one for all of Europe. So it's really exciting, the size of that market. We've also got a deal that we signed with a company that is distributing throughout South America. And so we've agreed to sell our products in about 8 countries with them. They have some great partnerships through e-commerce and a huge network of pharmacies. And so we're just in the process of getting our products registered, hoping that will get done in the next 30 to 60 days.
Well, there's new legislation being written all the time. I mean, in the U.S., they recently passed, I believe it's the Farmer Bill, allowing for the growing of hemp, and there's other moves moving forward. What do you think is the future of legalization, maybe even decriminalization, like something that Portugal has done in the U.S., in other areas of Europe? Just on the global grand scheme of things, how likely do you think we're going to move towards legalization or all-out decriminalization?
Well, we're fully legal in Canada now, which is amazing, but we really haven't seen the industry flourish yet because there's been so much red tape. So I think over the next couple of years, you're going to start to see the cannabis industry in Canada really take off. You have the Ontario opening up the rules to allow dispensaries. You have cannabis 2.0, edibles and topicals are going to hit, and that's going to be great. Maybe the government will relax the marketing regulations a bit. I think the U.S., the federal legalization in the U.S. is something that's definitely on the table. It's going to be an issue for this year's vote. And I think, you know, we're gonna see more and more states legalize it to the point where it's totally ridiculous if the U.S. feds don't get behind it as well. And even with the proposals to the change in the Banking Act so that now cannabis business owners can use banking, I think that's on the agenda for the next year. But what's even more exciting is a new area that we're getting into, which is the psilocybin. It's another area of plant-based medicine, and it's been so exciting to be in the cannabis industry. And a lot of people in the cannabis industry, especially the activists, are now looking at the next level of exciting therapeutic plant-based medicine, and I think that's psilocybin. So Oregon has it on their ballot this year, if you can believe it, to legalize magic mushrooms. And you know, if that goes through, then it'll be legal to grow, to produce, to buy, to sell, and to use, as long as you have basically somebody supervising you. It's not quite medical use only, but it is like a supervised type of legalization. And so it'll be legal in a way that cannabis is legal in Oregon. And we're already in Oregon. So that's a very exciting development. There's actually 100 cities worldwide, I've heard, that are initiating various types of you know, city council approvals to decriminalize within the city the use of certain psychedelics. And so, you know, this is also another area that's continuing to decriminalize around the world. So we're seeing, you know, the legalization of cannabis unfold in North America, and I think there's probably a new rule made every week right now internationally in terms of the legalization of cannabis, like you were touching on. You know, there's Mexico, there's all of Europe, there's different levels. You know, sometimes it's just CBD, sometimes it's medical, but it continues to open up. And I think every government looks at the revenues that are generated through the taxes, and if it's done properly, you know, it's enormous new revenue for government that it can apply to really great causes like school, or, you know, housing the homeless, or various other things. So it really cuts into, you know, it really helps with the state's budget.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting, the psilocybin factor coming in when you consider, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe research has concluded that it does help with post-traumatic stress disorder. And as we know, we have a lot of veterans here in Canada who do suffer from that. So this does seem like something that may be actually able to help veterans, right?
Yeah, I mean, the education is unfolding about psychedelic research, but I think the potential is much bigger than that. You know, I heard somebody give a speech the other day at Lyft, and it was really good because they were talking about how trauma, if you think about post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, trauma and stress, that's something that everybody suffers in one form or another. So it's not just for veterans, but really, if you have this plan that you can take that gets rid of trauma in your past, then it's not just for people who are ill, who are suffering from major illnesses, like major mental illnesses, but it's also for what they call the healthy normals. So it's like something that people can do just to improve their daily lives. Everybody has suffered some kind of trauma. If there's actually a medicine out there that you can take, or there's some kind of service combined with a product that you can take that can make you mentally more healthy, then that has huge potential. And yet I do agree, there's been a lot of clinical studies that have been done in the past few years which have started to demonstrate that psilocybin and other psychedelics actually can cure addictions, depressions, anxiety, or at least significantly treat these things. And so there's some psychiatrists out there that say this could be transformative for society. Mm-hmm. So it's very exciting.
Well, it seems to me you may be ruffling some feathers in the big pharma crowd, because obviously they want to maintain people to stay sick, and you were introducing something, you know, a way for people to heal themselves with natural plants. Do you foresee any issues in the future with big pharma?
You know, I think that the pharmaceutical industry is changing. I think there's definitely a movement towards appreciating plant-based medicine. I think consumers are demanding different types of treatments. And I think at the end of the day, you know, big pharma is going to want to play in this game. They might be late, but they'll just buy up whoever are the successful players.
Right. Well, it is interesting. It's like we're seeing the free market of this space emerge for the first time. So it will be interesting to see who comes out on top. Speaking of that, maybe we can touch a little bit on yield growth itself. It's a young company. I believe you don't have any debt. You've got a couple million in cash. what else do people need to know about the company if they want to get involved at an early stage?
Yeah, I mean, we've been public for about 14 months. It's actually been really fun, but it's been a bit crazy with markets being the way they are. And we are lucky because we don't have the high overhead that an LP or big facility would have. I mean, we have lots of partners that we produce through, but we don't own the manufacturing facilities other than our own small extraction facility to make our hemp root. So we have no long-term debt. We don't have any convertible securities. What you see is what you get. Our financials are available on cedar.com. I have to let you know that. So you can see our August 31st statements, and you can see how much cash we have and how much securities in our working capital. But overall, we did significant revenues so far this year. Yes, we do have expenses. We probably won't be profitable for another couple of years, but we're definitely healthy. There's nothing preventing us that you can look on our financial statements. You'll see there's nothing that's going to come and haunt us, come and get us in 6 months like a loan due or something like that. So I would say we're looking pretty good for the next couple of years until we can make it to profitability.
Well, it's a competitive space, and I'm glad to see companies such as yourself emerging that are actually focusing on the health and wellness, not entirely, but bringing that to the space anyways, which is really important moving forward. Where can people go if they want to learn from you guys? What are the links? And if people want to learn more and maybe even get involved, where should they go?
Go to yieldgrowth.com. You can see our website. Keep up to date with all our press releases, get on our email list. If you want to try our products, please go to urbanjuve.com, and you can buy any one of our 12 Urban Juve products. Those are available worldwide by e-commerce. I invite you to start doing some research on the exciting world of psychedelic research. There's definitely a renaissance happening. We're at the very beginning. As an investor, it might be a great opportunity for you to, find some good buys out there. I think, we're one of the few companies that's public that you can actually buy a piece of that's getting into it. We've announced a partnership in St. Vincent to build a psilocybin mushroom lab, which is really exciting. We've acquired quite a few, I think it's over 100 formulas to build out edible mushroom products. We actually have some medicinal mushroom products that are not psilocybin that will be launched later this year. So please sign up for our email list and do a bit of research and find out what's going on out there. There's apparently places you can go and actually get psychedelic treatment now, which is kind of cool.
Wow, unbelievable. It's amazing the developments that we've seen even over the last 10 years, last 5 years, even the last couple of years, and it's not slowing down. So we're going to see where this is going to. Yeah, it should be interesting to see where this moves in the future, because it's on a trajectory here. It's only getting better when it comes to the medicinal benefits of the plant. People realizing this and starting to use it, to make themselves, their lives much better.
I definitely think plant-based medicine is the future, whether it's the cannabis plant, whether it's magic mushrooms. The government is finally realizing this is a movement of the people. We want to have access to things that grow, that are natural, that make us healthier.
Exactly. They're eventually going to have to realize this is something that the people want. And, maybe they're going to get in late on the game, but this is what the people want. So it's good to see companies like yours kind of in on the ground room floor before it explodes. So I'd encourage people to check it out. We will have links in the description. Fascinating stuff, major developments happening. So once again, Penny, thanks so much for joining us here today to help us understand this new developing space.
Thank you, Dan. It's been a pleasure.
We all want truth. The truth will set you free.